Oh, okay. Yay, it's recording. All right. Hey, everyone. All right. Duplication. So I don't know. Maybe you love the word duplication. You're amazing at this. Maybe. And I think that's awesome. If you're like me, I hear the word duplication and like I was noticing that I needed to change my thoughts around it because I would hear it and I would instantly be like, oh my, like get kind of like a sick feeling in my stomach, like, because it's just not a strong suit of mine. It's not my strongest pillar. There's like, the pillars of success, which are recruiting, retention, duplication, and leadership. Those are like the four main pillars that you need to work on and grow your skill in to be successful in this. And I feel like duplication is probably my weakest one, which maybe that's encouraging to you because I am a diamond and you can still be weaker in a pillar and still like climb and grow and see success if you're willing to work on it. But it is something that like I would hear the word duplication or like how's your duplication or whenever like come up in topic with like other leaders, like I would feel like nervous or like shame or like, oh, I'm not very good. I haven't developed a new silver in like a couple of months, or whatever it is. And so I decided that I was going to change my thoughts around it. And I thought maybe that is something that you all would benefit from it too, because I don't think a lot of people realize that a lot of our struggles can be helped by just simply practicing a new thought about it. It's not magic. It's not like you're going to say a new thought and it's okay. Everything's going to be great. Like it's just like anything else. It's a skill. You have to practice it. So I want you to put in the comments, when you hear the word duplication, what's the word that comes to your mind? Like, what is it? Do you feel excited? Do you feel like stressed? Do you feel nervous? I don't know. Like, let me know. I want to know the word that comes to your mind when you hear that word, intimidated, which is why I said intimidated. I feel like it's intimidating sometimes. You're like, oh, you need to duplicate. And you're like, oh my word, like, how do I do that? Intimidated. Okay, yes, chocolate bed. Ashley says not confident. Dan says growth. Katie says hard work. These are all so good. So put in the comments what words pop in your head when you hear this word in relation to your business. So what we're going to do is talk about our thoughts. How your current thoughts make you feel. So whatever that thought was that you said, okay, like you hear the word duplication and you have that thought, think about how it makes you feel. So I was thinking like, oh, like I'm not as good as so-and-so, comparison, shame around duplication, which is making me feel like stressed. It's making me feel like not motivated. And then the actions that come from that are bogus. And so think about how the current thoughts you have around this make you feel. And maybe you're on the other side of it. Maybe you're like, okay, this is exciting. Like I'm getting better at this. That's great. That's amazing. And so there's no right or wrong thing here. This is just information to help us all to grow. Because what we're thinking turns into feelings, and those feelings, that our actions stem from those feelings, and then we get results from those actions. And so we want the actions to be the actions that are going to help us grow to the success that we're going for. And that all does start with our thoughts. And so next, I want you to think about, how do you want to feel about duplication? I want to feel excited. I want to feel like passionate. I want to feel, at least in my business overall, but in this specific topic, duplication, I want to feel confident. Like that's one of the big ones. I want to feel confident that I'm good at it. Like I know what I'm doing. I have a plan. I have a system. Right out. So I want you to put in the comments how you want to feel around duplication. What's the feeling that you want to have? So, successful. I love that. Yes. Confident, ready. Yes. Confident. That's a big one. We want to feel confident, especially when we have someone on our team, like who needs us to help guide them in duplication. Like we want that confidence so that we know how to help them. I love that. Okay. This is so good. Because when you're confident, the results or the actions that you're going to take are going to be those actions that are going to help you get the results that you want in your business. And so right now, hopefully you have a pen and paper. I forgot to remind everyone, bring a pen and paper. I want you to grab a pen and paper or grab your phone. If you use the notes in your phone, I use the notes in my phone all the time. And we're going to create 1 or 2 new thoughts to practice. And it's just, it really is practicing. I think it can be a little overwhelming sometimes to think like you have all these thoughts swirling around in your head of like, oh, I'm not good at this. Oh, like I suck, or like, I don't know, whatever it is around the specific topic of duplication, that thinking a new thought around it can almost feel like too hard. But you just pick one and you just practice one and you go from there. You don't have to like instantly have like this perfect mindset. No one is going to, like, we're all human. But I love this Bible verse that says, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he, because what we're thinking really does turn into actions and results. And so it's a really important skill that we can all grow in. And I think that's really cool that we can grow in it. It's not something you have to be naturally good at. And so this next slide is all kinds of ideas if you need help, but write down a new thought, whatever, depending on what you felt around the word duplication and how you want to feel. You're going to create a thought for that helps you feel that. So you're creating a thought that gives you that feeling now because you want to take action from that feeling. I thought it was so cool how Jessica Heffley was saying, like, you don't not call an apple tree before, like, if it doesn't have apples. Like if you say you're going to plant an orchard, you go buy an apple tree to put in your orchard. It's still an apple tree, even though there's no apples. You might not even have apples on it for years, but it's still an apple tree. And so it's kind of like a similar concept of you're going to create a thought to give you the feeling that you want to feel in your business now, because that is something that you can focus on, you can control, that is going to over time give you those results that you want. And so here are some of my favorites. I sat down, like I said, like it's something that I was struggling with, and I was like, okay, well, I need to like change my thoughts around this. Instead of sitting in this space of like, I'm not good at duplication, or like, I don't know what to do next, or whatever. So I wrote down the second one, the third one, and the fourth one were ones I specifically wrote myself. And then some others are just some ideas that I grabbed. So figure out what works for you. I love, it says, I share boldly because I know the power of change for families made possible because of this opportunity. Like that makes me feel excited. One new business builder has the potential to cause a ripple effect to touch thousands of lives. So I joined Adrienne. She signed me up, and I have about 6,000 people on my team. So because Adrienne signed me up, Adrienne has had an impact in 6,000 lives, even though not directly. Like, how cool is that? One new business builder can do that. And so, I mean, it doesn't have to be thousands. It can even, one more person, one more life is so exciting that you get to impact. But that excites me. And that makes me feel like, that gives me boldness to where I'm like going to go and talk to the person I need to talk to. I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm going to take the action I need to take, because I'm like, oh my word, like one new business builder can do this. Whose life do I get to impact next because I boldly share this opportunity with them? So if you wrote yours down, oh, I love Jan's. I'm capable of more than I know with God's help. So good. So good. So just one, I want you to get one thought that you're going to practice this week, write it down. And before you go to work, like, so you're going to sit down to your IPA, like write out that thought, and then intentionally just practice it throughout the day. Because this whole week is our focus is on duplication this week, because we are we're going to be inviting people to join in on the Get Your Products Paid For challenge. And so I think this week is the perfect week to be intentionally practicing a thought around duplication. It doesn't have to be any of these thoughts. It just has to be the thought that gives you the feeling that you want to feel around the word duplication. And so it can be whatever you need it to be. Anne says, I can do hard things, and then those things with practice and consistency become easier things. Yes. Oh my word. I know when I first started, I never in a million years would have dreamed I would be leading a Zoom like that. No way. And now, yes, I still get nervous. I get nervous every time, but I'll do it. I'll do it all the time. Like I'll just get on a Zoom and lead a Zoom. It's like a million times easier than it was the first time I did it. And so it's true that the more you do it, the practice, it gets easier. So I love that. And Gina says, I'm able to take the steps to learn how to be better at duplicating. So good. I love those. Let's see what Katie says. People want a need, but I have to offer them. They're just waiting for me to tell them. Yes. I love that. And there's another one that's you can't help someone unless you help them get started. Which I love that one too. Okay. So you can screenshot this page if you need to help you if you're still creating one, or maybe you want to create a couple to help give you some examples. And then we're going to go on to the next thing. So I asked in our thread with other Jules, their number one tip on duplication. And they're so simple. Like I loved how simple their tips were. Jordan Roddenberry, she's a diamond senior gold. Senior, that means that she went diamond, and then you can re-sign up under yourself. Like you can clone yourself in Plexus and you can go to the top again, which is the coolest thing. And she did that. And she's a diamond on one account. She re-signed up under herself and now she's a senior gold. She earned the cruise twice with like same person twice. This like the coolest thing, right? So in case you didn't know that, anyway, she is a diamond senior gold, and her number one tip was post about the business. It's so important. Like you think like, maybe it's not something we always think about when thinking duplication, but people are watching, and those people who haven't even signed up yet that are going to be on our team, that are going to build their business, like they're watching you now. And that is how you attract business builders to your team, is by sharing about this opportunity. So post about it consistently on your timeline, in your stories. Lacey Wilcox's tip, she has so many level 1 business builders. I don't even know how many. Like, so she has a very wide team, which means she has lots of level 1s working their business. And her number one tip was ask everyone to share. So in some way, shape, or form, ask them to share. Maybe it's to do a shout out post for you. Maybe it's to ask them if they have 3 people in mind that could also benefit from these. Maybe they need to get their products paid for, whatever it is, but ask everyone. And you can tell like she's very successful. And then Katie, who is our own Katie Ciccarelli, our own Sapphire, she said, mention sharing as soon as they're done signing up and explain it in a way that gives confidence that it's just what you do next. Like it's just something you do. So I love that. Sabrina Ingram is a diamond, and she said 3-way messages with potentials is her number one tip, which we have that in our team page. We have the convo flow for 3-way chats to help you know exactly how to do that. So when you have someone who maybe their mom's interested, and you're going to just help her get her mom into a 3-way chat with you, and then you're going to help get to know like why her mom's interested and how you can help. And that convo flow in the team page tells you exactly how to do that. 3-way chats was something that was like, so I feel like similar to duplication, except for not anymore, because like I just remember 3-way chats was like, oh my word, like, ew, like I want to do 3-way chats, but like, I feel like I'm horrible at them. Anytime I do them, they rarely turn out well. And yeah, I just don't feel like I'm good at them. And so I knew that, and I decided to just become really good at them. And so I tweaked like my system to fit what worked for me, and they work really, really well. And so maybe you take the convo flow that I created. Well, I didn't create it completely. I took another idea from someone and I tweaked it. So maybe you do the same thing. Maybe you take the combo flow that is in our team page and you need to tweak it a little bit that fits you best, your style, your wording, your team. And that's totally fine. Like you don't have to follow exactly what we do. They're just tools for you to help you in your business. And then the last one was 3-way welcome calls so Aubrey, I don't know how to say her last name, Jurin. She's a friend of mine, but she's a diamond. And she said 3-way welcome calls with new VIPs using Diamond Christina Williams template, which I have her template, and I will put it in the Diamond Bound thread if you're interested in that. A 3-way welcome call is simply someone like you have a level 1 that signs someone, and you're doing a 3-way welcome call with them, and you're leading it. So you're leading it like a 3-way chat, except for it's on the phone or on Zoom. And it's someone who's already signed up. And so that's what that is. And a lot of business builders have been created from doing that. And she has a video of like a recording of exactly how she did it with someone, like a live example. And then she has a template. Then I'll put it in, see what someone said. I'll put it in the thread when we're done. Yes. And we've used we use Christina's notes in our Now What series in the team page. 1 sec. Sorry, someone's calling me. Okay. Because phone calls, I will be the first to say, are not my strong suit. I have decided, though, that I'm going to do them more. And I did. So what I'm doing now, if I don't get on the phone to sign someone up, this isn't the same thing as the three-way welcome call necessarily. This is just like getting on the phone with someone. But I've noticed a common, hey, do you need something? Okay, go ask Dad. I don't know, someone's tapping out my door. I've noticed a common theme with very successful jewels who get on the phone with their people at some point in their, like at the beginning of their journey. And it's something that I just don't like getting on the phone. I need to create a new thought around that. But I decided that I was going to do it more because I want my goals and dreams more than I don't want to be, how do I say this? I want that more than the discomfort I need to go through to do it. And so I'm willing to go through the growth that I need to, which is phone calls is one of them for me. And I don't know if that is for you, but I have been doing this month. So if I don't get them on the phone to sign them up, I'm getting them on the phone when they get their products. And I'm just giving them, and I tell them, so they sign up. Because a lot of times, like for instance, last night, someone was signing up at I followed up with her for a long time and I was like, I'm going to get you signed up. Last thing I do. And it was really late. I think it was no, it wasn't. It was late afternoon, but it was just kind of a weird time and stuff. And I sent her the link. She's a very kind of hard person to talk back and forth to. She takes a little while to respond. And so I sent her the link and I told her, I was like, hey, as soon as your products arrive, then I'm going to give you a quick call and give you some tips on getting started. And then I just did that with another new person. And I just called her and said, hey, I just kind of walked her through. Yes, I still send them the getting started guide and all of that, but I kind of just walked her through on the phone. And then it was a great time. Once I'm on the phone, it's not that bad. It's just getting on the phone that's scary. But once I'm on it, it can be actually kind of fun. You get to connect with them. You get to learn. I got to know way more about this person who's a new person on my team. She's a dream teamer. She's even talked about sharing. But I got to know way more about her on the phone than I ever would have just in message, because it's kind of the same. She's really hard to talk with back and forth on chat because she's just super busy. And so she doesn't always take the time to respond, but being on the phone, that was 15 minutes or so of just I think that was it. It was only a 15-minute call of being able to just talk back and forth. And we chatted about just different things. I got to know so much about her. So that was really fun actually. And so that's just something I decided that I'm going to be doing more of. Okay, so those are those tips. And lastly, oh wait, I feel like I missed one. Oh yes, here we go. Okay, so whatever you decide is going to be your system, it might not be exactly what I do or Katie does. It can be. But you do need to have some sort of process that you follow to help you in duplication. You can't just wing it of oh, maybe I'll do this and then that. Yes, you can tweak it. Obviously, you're going to tweak it and fine tune as needed. And maybe what you're doing is just isn't working. It's the definition of insanity is to just do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. And so maybe you do need to tweak it, but you do need to just get your system and then follow it and stay consistent and do it. Because if you're going to go so much quicker, if you're just consistent with every single person, instead of oh, you asked the 3 new people that joined to share, but then none of them said yes. And so you're well, what's the point? I'm just forget about it so then the next 3 people you signed, you didn't ask them to share. And then the next 3 people, you're okay, I'm going to ask them to share because I need to do this and work on duplication. Like you see, it's like not consistent, and your odds of developing a new business builder go way down when you're not consistent. And so if you just follow the same thing, not everyone is going to say yes. It's the same thing as signing new people. Like you talk to people, you follow up with them. Not everyone is going to sign up in July. Like it's just not how it is. And so the same thing when you're talking with people about the business, about sharing, or about getting their products paid for, or whatever it is, however you're starting that conversation, they're not all going to like go fast, start silver, or become your next business builder. But the more you do it and the more consistent you are, the higher the odds of you creating those business builders. And I love this little like graphic that just shows like discipline is the daily action of like asking them to share, getting them on the phone. And the patience of like, you're not going to always see results right away. It takes time, it takes consistency, and you will see that success though with that. And then consistency, let me find my phone. I have my notes in here. I love this quote. Consistency is what transforms average into excellence. I just think that's so inspiring to me, that you can take someone who's not the greatest in an area, but because you stayed consistent and you kept going and learning and growing in that skill, you can turn it from average into excellence. And it is really, I've seen it over and over again in my own journey. And then Christina Williams' quote, I just love because it's hilarious. It says, be willing to suck to see success. Like, it's true. Like, you need to fail forward. You're not going to just like necessarily be amazing at it right away if this is something you need to grow in. And the more you fail in it, it's like, as you fail, it's like you go up higher because you're like that much closer to success. Because you're willing to do the hard things that might make you look funny or stupid, or maybe you sound ridiculous on a three-way phone call because it's your first one and you don't know what you're doing. That's okay. Like, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And so just be encouraged to know that it's normal to be really bad at something before you're good at it. And then I just like kind of wrapping up, the first one, like, check your thoughts. How are your thoughts around duplication? Create a new thought that you can practice this week. The second, evaluate your process and your system. Like, do you have a system, or are you just kind of like winging it? What do you need to tweak or add to your system? And then just be consistent. Your success definitely will be slower if that consistency isn't there. You got this. It's just a skill. Duplication is a skill, and you can learn to be really well at it. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? Oh, I love what Katie said. She almost never hangs up on a call without signing someone. Yeah. So if that is part of if you want to, like, talking with people on the phone speeds up everything, because it's like you can have like a month's long conversation if you were just chatting back and forth in one phone call. It's way quicker if you can get them on the phone. I think it is definitely the better way to go. And I will put those notes for Christina's template for three-way welcome calls in the Diamond Bound thread for anyone who wants to look over those. And if you don't have a level 1 worker, but so if you don't have someone that you can host a three-way welcome call with, you can have your sponsor host one for you. So if you need help with that, if you sign up a new level 1 and you want to do a three-way welcome call, then just ask your sponsor, hey, could you help me with a three-way welcome call with this new person? And they would help with that until you have like a level 1 signing someone who you would help them with it. Okay. All right, y'all. Thanks for hopping on. That's it. Hope you have an awesome night. Bye.